Greetings and salutations, good friends, and welcome to Blades in Paradise. My name is Dr. Winston Thoreau, and I will be your guide to the perils and pleasures of our paradise amidst the post-apocalyptic Pacific Northwest. Now, we'll get to the chicanery and shenanigans momentarily, but before we do, allow me to deliver some news. Blades in Paradise is an actual play podcast run in John Harper's Blades in the Dark, and we're sponsored by the developer Evil Hat Games. Use code BARDROCK10 at checkout to save on your order. Bard Rock Network is sponsored by Dragon Master Games. Visit dragonmastergames.com for all your CCG, TCG, TTRPG, and miniature game needs. If you enjoyed the stories we tell, you can tip us on Ko-fi or visit us at patreon.com/bardrockcafe. By sponsoring the network, you not only help us provide an ever-expanding library of shows, but gain access to bonus content, the network Discord, quarterly backer games with the network community, and an annual swag bag. Now, without further ado, let's join Lizzie, Sterling, and Max, as well as myself, the crew of ESPN. Enjoy.
Blades in Paradise is a dystopian story intended for adults. These stories intentionally address challenging topics that might not be suitable for all ears. This campaign includes content warnings for gun violence, child endangerment, animal cruelty, unintentional misgendering of a non-binary person, substance use, and graphic descriptions of injuries, including the eyes. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello, and welcome back to Blades in Paradise, where the players are only as safe as the Game Master fucking says they are. I'm Paul, the Blades Daddy for Campaign 1, and tonight, instead of going in our usual order, Justin, introduce yourself and tell us about your new character.
So yeah, Max is dead. He is dead. So I am playing a character named Bunny Wigglesworth. They, them pronouns, and fancy. Very, very fancy. Dresses for more of the 1800s pomp and circumstance type, and powders the face and draws on a little mole above their right side of their lip.
It's not fair that you made a character designed exactly like me. Like, this is what I show up to in recording every single week, and now you've just completely ripped my whole riz.
No, I'm. You don't use it in the show, so I'm just playing you now. Just kidding.
If you prepared an actual fact about Max this week, you may share it, because I don't want you to have wasted your homework.
He has a song that's in his head all the time. He can't remember where it's from. However, he started putting words to it recently. It's something like, "Come with me and you'll be in a world of pure infestation. Rats ahoy, it's no joy to have pure infestation."
So now we're Willy Wonka.
Oh, that's where it is.
Considering they both seem to be eldritch immortal beings, this would not surprise me.
Right.
This is very true.
Everyone else can go in the normal order now.
Soaking wet with a broken heart, and we just lost our dear old fart. That's right, it's Dr. Winston Thoreau. I'm Jim. I play Dr. Winston Thoreau, who's the whisper of the group. And fun fact about Dr. Winston Thoreau is that this is not the first time that an elderly man has died under his care. You know how some people are just, not good with plants? Like, they just can't keep a plant alive for the life of them. They just don't, like, whatever the opposite of a green thumb is. Well, it's
a black
kind
thumb?
of like I help usher them on into the great beyond. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Troll in Central Park movie, that's all it is.
Oh, Jesus, I forgot about that.
Yeah, he had a green thumb and the queen had the black thumb. It was exactly the thing we just described.
Except with elderly people.
Hey, I'm Queenie, and I play Lizzie Calhoun the Hound with my trusty hound beside me. And as we've seen, steroids are not good and they cause you to rage, which can cause you to lose your hand. Don't do drugs.
Unless they're recreational.
True.
Yeah, don't do them for work.
And don't do them for work, and if they're recreational, make sure they're on the list of safe recreational drugs.
The opinions of Dr. Winston Thoreau are not supported by Bard Rock Network.
Hi, I'm Riley. I play Sterling, and here we go for the 19th time. Crises coming from every side. Need a rest so the blood can dry. Didn't notice my friend just died. Fun fact about our tank today. Sterling has a decent amount of first aid knowledge, if they can,
get there in a timely manner from a somewhat militant youth training program comparable to Canadian Cadets or American ROTC.
All right, awesome. Maybe you'll get to take advantage of that, because last time you all survived the mandatory underwater level, but not without sacrifice. Most of ESPN nearly drowned, and a crocodile bit off Lizzie's hand. All seemed fine as you emerged from the airlock, though, until Max abruptly dropped dead, so what do you all do?
Okay. I can fix this. Sterling, do you know CPR?
I might break him, but I can try.
At the very least, he'll be alive. Let's go. Come on. Do you need me to count compressions for you, or you?
Yeah. If you can hum "Staying Alive" for me.
Okay.
Come on, Max.
Sterling, I would like you to roll a survey roll. I'll give you a bonus die because you have canonized first aid knowledge. Study alternatively.
That's a 3.
Alright, with a 3, this seems like a perfectly good idea that will not backfire.
Alright, just stop. He's gone. It's not safe for the rest of us if we keep going. Lizzie lost a hand. I'm injured, you're injured. We'll try to take him with us, but we gotta get him out of here. We have to get us out of here at this point. Should we say it? Should we say a few words? I mean, should we all try to... I don't know what to do here.
Would he say a few words over us?
Well, he would say hundreds upon thousands of words until one of us stopped him from doing so.
That's true.
True.
We should probably do something.
I pull 3 candles out of my coat and I hand one to each of them and light them despite the fact that they are soaking wet.
SpongeBob logic.
Well, it's a prop from the prop table. It's fine. Sterling, would you like to say something? You and Max seem to have quite the relationship, having gone out for drinks many, many times together, and you always played those little games that you like designing and running for us.
Well, and as we figured out, he's the reason I'm here. I came following him, trying to find something new in my life. When he came along and said, "Hey, come work for us."
The day that Maximilian died is a day I'll never forget. We never asked, but he had a bunch more tales to tell, I bet. As long as that weird old man was around, we were often led astray. If only we could give that ancient rat bag one more day. How can we show our respect for Maximilian? How will we ever know how much he lied? Manifested sin and shame, but at least we've got each other. Now that Maximilian Graves has permanently died.
Sterling, that was beautiful. I don't know. I mean, you all know I'm not any good with words or talking to people, and I don't like to make a spectacle of myself. And that's when the entire room goes black, and a spotlight lands on Dr. Winston Thoreau, and a grand piano slides out from the side, and he sits down at the bench of the grand piano, and he starts playing "Candle in the Wind" by Elton John. And he says, "Goodbye, Mr. Graves. I know that's not your name, it's how I knew you, and I loved you all the same. You may have been a sadist, and you might have been insane, but you knew your purpose here in life was to do more than play the game. And it seems to me you lived your life like the rats inside your leg, always trying to escape from an old man's cage. And I would have liked to know you before your name was Max, and understand the man you were before your world collapsed. And then the lights come back up, and obviously we're just still all standing in a circle over Max.
Slowly waving the candle.
The candle has been replaced by a Bic lighter that's just kind of holding up in the air like this.
So as you return to this scene, and you're all mourning your friend, you hear the crackle static of someone trying to contact you on your radio.
Not now. Max... I turn the radio off. And I sit down and I say, I need to think this through. I need to think this through. What do we do next? What do we do next? What do we do next? And I reach into my pocket looking for my cosmic brownie, because I know if I sit and I have a bite of my cosmic brownie, the deliciousness of the M&Ms within the brownie and the fudgy goodness will allow me to actually think of a solution to it. And as I reach into my coat pocket to reach for the brownie, I end up grabbing the vial of medication that I was supposed to give to Max a few days ago. And I pull it out and I look at it in my hand and I say, sometimes you just get a feeling that you need some kind of change. And I know no matter what the odds are this time, nothing is going to stand in our way. And deep in our heart, like this long-lost friend, every dark street is a light at the end. And I pull out the medication and I plunge the syringe directly into Max's chest and I suppress it.
The syringe slowly drains in, and what happens is, after a few seconds, you think nothing happened at first. Max, your eyes spring open, and you instinctively gasp for air as you return to life. A couple things happen. First of all, clear all harm and stress that you suffered at all. You are clean, as a clean slate. And mark one additional move in your playbook as if you just leveled up. For the remainder of this session, you are far more lucid than normal and can firmly access your typically lost memories.
Holy shit, that actually worked.
You okay, buddy?
What floor are we on?
52, the water level.
Calhoun, you still have your guns?
Yes, I have my guns. What do you need, Max?
Can you fire one-handed?
Yeah. Because I have pistols, not just my long gun.
Sterling?
Yes, Max?
I want you to grab the largest item you can use as a shield and be our point man.
You got it.
Thoreau?
Graves?
Concentrate everything you have and see if you can pull any of your ghost friends for, shall we say, a spear tip.
Where do you think we are? We're in an office complex, Max.
I am aware of where we are. I am wondering if you are aware that the enemy is several floors up, and we need to get there and have as few objects in between us as possible. Do you understand, Thoreau?
I crystal clear, Max. You and I need to have a long conversation later. Once I admit it, you and I need to have a long conversation later.
Max begins to stand up a little bit.
Oh shit. I forgot I only have one leg.
Lizzie goes over to help him.
Clearing all your harms also somehow magically made your prosthetics, if they were damaged, not damaged. They were just magically like new.
I'll take good care of him.
Exactly. I forget if you had harm marked on either of your prosthetic limbs. You do not now.
I only mark harm on my actual living limbs. What few remain.
Alright, so it sounds like you're all ready to go up to floor 53.
All right.
Before we go up to floor 53, I would like to calmly unwrap my cosmic brownie and take a bite of it, because I am I need some comfort right now. I'm very scared of just what's going to happen.
Yes, if you all would like to take an opportunity to clear harm and stress, you do have 2 cosmic brownies. Well, maybe 1 now, which will each relieve 1 harm, delete a harm off your street entirely, and you have, I believe, 3 stress-relieving mushrooms. Obviously, Max is fine.
Take a mushroom.
I have 2 written down. And hand one to Lizzie.
I rolled a 6. And that's exactly how much I had.
And what is Max doing as the mushrooms are being doled out?
As everybody's healing up, Max begins to take off his long rat pelt coat. And as he does, he turns it inside out. What you see on the inside, which is now on the outside, is a fine black type of fabric. And as he puts it on, he starts walking towards the shadowy area and kind of melds with it a little bit.
Yeah, he is obscured in shadow now. Like Shadow Man. Riley/Sterling, do you eat the other mushroom and or give it to Winston? I don't know who needs to reduce stress more.
I have 6 stress at the moment.
Do you want the last one?
What are you at?
I'm good.
If you're good, I will gladly take it, because then I can actually be somewhat useful.
Yeah, here.
That's 3 stress down for me, so I'm down to 3 stress. Thank you very much.
Alright, so all healed up, you march to the 53rd floor. Above the door to 453, at the stairwell, you see a word that says, the nursery, on the sign. Winston, you remember the nursery. You lived there for about 2 months when you were adopted. They subjected you to a series of tests related to your innate spectral powers. The final test, however, came back as, quote, inconclusive, and you always suspected that was part of why the famous family did not keep you.
I'm scared to go in here. And I'm scared to admit that. It's the first and only time in my life I felt like I wasn't good enough for something.
Thoreau, you have turned a fucking beast with your will alone. Now concentrate, get us some friends that can run distraction, and let's go kill this motherfucker.
I would like to go reach out and look for, I believe, Brooks Walden is the guy's name that I...
Oh, Brooks Walden, yes.
Brooks Walden was the young man who died in the train accident that I told his father I would try to find him. I would like to reach out and try to find Brooks Walden.
Alright, roll a tune.
That is a 5 and a 2.
Alright, with a 5, you can detect him. He is on the 54th floor. He is in some sort of container, you're guessing a soul bottle or something. He cannot be summoned at this time because he is in a container. As are most of the souls besides the police officers you did a murder to. You can summon another cop with your 5, though.
Okay, the other cop comes up from behind the stairs and is just completely... What is it? The crocodiles and the electricity, so he basically looks like he's been damaged even in the afterlife. He has, like an action figure would have, battle-worn clothing that it would wear.
Yeah, funnily enough, this guy's like, oh, hi, I'm Sergeant Al, and you realize he looks exactly like Carl, because this guy, the actor who plays Carl Winslow in Family Matters, has played a cop in 3 different things. If you summon another cop, I will find the other thing he was in as a cop and summon that one too.
Die Hard.
The Die Hard is the one where he played Sergeant Al. No, there's a thing before Die Hard where he was in New York City or something, and he killed a kid. I saw this whole thing about it on TikTok. Everyone, feel free to find that video about the guy who played Carl Winslow. It's a crazy theory.
He was also in Ghostbusters.
Oh,
first one.
So Ghostbusters is the thing, and apparently there was a theory that he shot a kid or some shit. Anyway, yeah, so the police officer who played in Ghostbusters is the 3rd one you'll summon when you try to summon another cop later.
He was also in Turner and Hooch.
He was.
Oddly enough, as the voice of Hooch.
You now have an army of approximately 4 Reginald Bell Johnson impersonators.
Queenie, real quick, which hand did you get chomped?
It just his hand chopped off. I said it wasn't the fifth one, so it'd be my right hand.
I was a correction. I meant to say 55th floor, not 54th.
All right.
Walden Brooks is on the 55th floor. I'll also generously give you with your 5, Winston. When you sensed Walden, you sensed somewhere in the neighborhood of like 20 more soul bottles on the 55th floor.
What are they doing up there? They should be in the nursery. If he's not in the nursery, then who's in there? I can feel a powerful force coming from in there, and it's not any of the souls that perished in the train accident.
Well, only one way to find out.
We'll take the right.
Open the door.
Enjoy what you're hearing? Rate us on your favorite podcatcher. Reviews on platforms like Apple, Spotify, or Good Pods help new listeners find our content. It's a completely free way to support the show. Thanks for listening.
Where are we now, Llewellyn?
Well, Meanie, it looks like we've arrived in a universe where Jump Leads is part of the Bard Rock network of podcasts.
The Bard Rock Network? Wow! That's a whole new audience ready to experience our adventures jumping through parallel universes, like when we found that colony of religious robots, or the time we were chased by a knife-wielding dinosaur.
What about when you spent a whole episode looking for a bathroom?
We don't have to talk about that.
Listen to the scripted sci-fi comedy podcast audiences are calling hilarious with a lot of heart and wit. Jump Leads, Season 1 available now, wherever you get your podcasts. Season 2 coming soon.
Who was that?
Sounds like this reality is actually an ad spot.
An ad spot? Wait, so none of this is canon?
It was, until you asked that question.
So you guys kick down the door and you sweep the room like you're in an episode of CSI or NCIS or something.
Is there a desk or something I can use as a shield?
Well, not in the hallway. You need to enter the room first. The hallway is just an empty stairwell.
Okay, I'm the shield for now.
Yeah, so Sterling bashes the door down. I won't even make you... If you want to roll wreck, you can, but I was going to let you have it for free. You want to see how much you fuck up the door, roll wreck.
That's a 6.
Well, with a 6, this door goes flying off the hinges. You just Shrek, somebody once told me, and slammed it open. And you go in there, weapons armed and locked and loaded, and realize there's nothing here trying to kill you. This is just a normal-ass room. You see it's like a child's room, a twin race car bed in one corner, a game table about knee height, a little lower on the middle, and a chest full of toys on the far side. Nothing's trying to kill you. It's empty, just an ordinary kid's room. And at the opposite side of the room is a door that says Observation Lab.
All right, we keep the glass cannon behind us, shield him. Anything that moves, give it an extra hole.
Sounds good to me.
Sterling, if you want to take the race car bed and use that as your shield, and if it makes it out okay, I will take that when we get back home. Just saying.
I'll do my best.
Thank you. It's very comfortable.
All right, Sterling now has one steel-framed race car bed.
Steel frame, glass, or plastic outer body.
You can see my initials. I carved them in on the side there.
So I will let Sterling 6 roll. You smash down the next door, which was not locked. And you all enter the next room, do the same CSI sweep, and what you see as you do the CSI sweep, the observation lab is a sterile, metallic, and cold room. On your right, you see what appears to be a milking machine they would use in a dairy farm. Only the hoses are feeding into not a bucket or a large bottle or vat, but a spirit bottle. The spirit bottle looks mostly empty at the moment, like maybe like a drop, for lack of a better way to describe. You see just a tiny bit of spectral energy. Your gaze instinctively follows the hoses to the left and their source across the room, a glass pod with a man floating in a pool of water wearing an oxygen mask. You all recognize this person immediately. Sort of. He looks like famous Nathan, but much older than the one you know. Older and than he should be even by normal standards. Streaks of gray in his hair, a wrinkled face, and liver spots.
What? This what on... I'm sorry. Why is Nathan in this tank if he was... How... Someone explain this to me, please. Max, do you... No. This can't be true. I have set my entire adult life on hating this man and believing that he is the opposite of everything that I stand for, and that he turned his back on me, and that he took what was the family that was supposed to be mine, and that he... What did they do to you? Nate, what did they do to you?
While Winston is having this thought process, I want you to roll survey to search the room for answers for his questions.
2 4s.
Eventually find what you're sure is going to be the answer in the desk, but the drawer is locked.
I can do it. Max shoulders his rifle, walks over, begins to pick the lock.
All right, Max, roll prowl maybe as your... What is your good I'm a rogue person stat?
Finesse.
Yeah, so go ahead and roll finesse to jimmy the lock.
Got a 6 and a 5.
Yeah, with a 6, you just pop it open, no problem. You do that thing they do in the movies that definitely shouldn't work, where it looks like you just jam a letter opener in the lock and it wiggles open immediately. And you find a very, very thick case file labeled Subject 1, Famous Nathan, research notes by Duncan Hines.
Ah, damn it. Sterling, secure our entry point, please. Calhoun?
Yeah.
Wreck shit.
Okay. Start wrecking everything, destroying the office and whatnot. Does that include this cage?
I mean, it's more of like a medical, like you know the medical pods they have in like sci-fi movies. Just in like a big bubble full of water. They clearly are keeping him alive as some sort of prisoner.
Right.
Thoreau, concentrate on the spirit energy. Bend it to your will.
Bend what to my will, Max? This is my best friend. This was my brother. And now he is a bastardization of everything that he once was. Whatever they've done to him...
But is his spirit in there? Or is it in the other body?
They're going to pay.
During the 1980s, they started trying to clone sheep. I suspect this is where they were headed.
Can I attune to see if he's in there?
I will, because you attuned to this either last session, I think you did it, I'll say it's the same soul you detected last session. It feels like somewhere between half and 3/4 of a soul. Very scarred. You've never seen anything like this. It's not scarred in the way those melted souls you saw that one time were. It's like the soul started to heal, but like almost like they shaved off several sections of it and took a huge chunk to begin with.
So his soul is split.
They've been... Lizzie, I know you're a botanist, right? You deal with plants.
Right.
What happens when you have a thriving, powerful species and you need to transplant it somewhere else? What do?
You cut a part of it, root it, and replant it where you need.
And that's what they're doing with my brother's soul.
Sounds like it.
I would like to kill him and put him out of his misery.
So let's wreck the pod.
I do want to ask, does anybody have any interest in reading this file Lizzie found that may have information relevant to your decision?
Max would definitely start scanning it.
All right, Max, what you find? Yes, confirmation that they were trading up pieces of his soul because they discovered, especially with people with very strong spiritual energy, the soul can regenerate from an injury. Before they took all the big slices, they took one whole chunk of Nathan's soul, about half of it, and put it in a spirit bottle for safekeeping. Dr. Hines believed if anything should happen to Nathan's original spirit, or if his body were to fail, that they could theoretically start this process over fresh by installing the original undamaged soul from that bottle. It was kept with one of the duplicate Nathans used by this soul-shaving process for safety. You realize immediately that was not Nathan's grandfather's soul you all stole at the end of episode 2 or 3. It was the original copy of Nathan's soul. And if you have that, according to Hines' notes, you can restore original Nathan's body to good health. Also, obviously, he's not the asshole who's been fucking with you. He's just the guy that they took a chunk of and made a copy of. So he's relatively innocent. Do you share this with anybody?
I share most of it. I keep the part where this is the original body. We have a chance. If you want to restore your brother, so to speak, we have the opportunity. Or, if you choose, we can put him out of his misery.
Can I attune to him and find out what he would want? Or attempt to?
Yeah, sure, go ahead and roll a tune. I'll give you a bonus die because you have a strong spiritual connection to this person.
5 is the highest on that one.
With a 5, you can tell, based on how long he's been unconscious, they've been keeping him in a comatose state for actual years. He is, at the moment, unaware of what they've done to him, because he's been unconscious the entire time.
How are we going to get him out of here?
You want to carry him?
If I have to.
Does he have to stay in the...
I could call Victor.
I do want to let you know, based on the research notes that you have from Hines and your spiritual examination, you do not think he would survive for very long outside this tube without his original soul.
How heavy is the tube?
Imagine like a shower stall, but they shut the glass door and let it fill up with water kind of thing. Basically carrying around the doctor's TARDIS on your shoulder. Full of bathwater.
All right.
Does the race car bed have wheels?
You know what? Absolutely.
I love you, Sterling.
You're just going to drag him around the little red wagon.
What's that? There are some of those race car beds that do have wheels on the actual frame inside. They're little, but they do.
Yep, the famous family's fucking rich. This is a good race car bed.
This is the person that you have deep feelings for of love and respect, and their body is being used and manipulated. Let's put him in a red race car bed.
Listen, we use the tools that we have at hand.
It works.
I have an empty soul bottle from having released the monster that tried to rip my heart out. Is it possible to put OG Nathan in the bottle?
You could, however, you do know if you take that soul out with no soul in there whatsoever, his body's going to do one or two things. Either turn into an undead thrall, or just keel over.
But I could always make him into I can't make him into a homunculus because then he...
Well, for starters, his body does not have the virility to become a homunculus. He is a withered, shriveled thing right now.
Hey, Doc, why don't we leave him here for the moment, go deal with the other Nathan, and come back for him on our way out?
I don't know if we'll have that opportunity.
All right, so I would say, reading through the notes, you see that the pod does have an independent power source, so you could move it. The question is whether or not you can safely get out of this building. You do also see that they took a total of 7 samples besides the original control sample from Nathan. So In theory, they have made 7 copies of Famous Nathan.
We gotta fight all 7.
The 7 deadly sins of Famous Nathan.
You're not far off. Duncan Hines' research indicates that each of them took on a specific aspect of Nathan's primary personality. You get the impression the one you've been dealing with is primarily his pride.
When I joked that this was going to be the 31 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo, I was not actually.
31. So many more ghosts.
So they were researching this as an alternative power source. Nathan was the control test, but they have refined the process and think there's less virile souls now. What they do want to do is basically every time they take a shaving, let it heal up so it can be a full power source for the alternative to what they currently have as the power source in Paradise and the other mountain cities. Duncan does not expressly say what it is, but at this point you know it's some sort of soul power, you just don't know how it works. He also indicates that the versions of Nathan are not being used to power machinery. They were being, because they needed Nathan to be a figurehead, they created a series of automatons that look like Nathan and are powered by the fractions of his soul. Basically been fighting wax statues overladen on Terminator skeletons.
Everything that you're saying makes this more incredibly fucked up and damaging to my emotional psyche. I just want you to understand that.
I like the idea that you aren't saying that to me, that Winston's saying that to the folder.
That's exactly what's happening. What would you do, Graves? What would you do if this was someone that you love?
I've only had to do that once. I did it. I put her out of her misery. But you're not me. And you have a puzzle to save this person. I did not.
So I'm supposed to leave him here and let them continue doing this to him until we can figure out a way to put him completely back together.
Or we do as Lizzie said, and we take him on the way out.
And I'm thinking when we're done, we have Victor meet us here, and between him and Sterling and I, we can get him out.
We can get our homunculus friend. That's the chance you take. There are no good outcomes. Currently, we are in a very tall building in the middle of enemy territory. Word that we had no emotional attachment to anyone here, I would level it. But because I respect you, Thoreau, because you have been a good leader and a good friend, I will do whatever I can to ensure that even if we have to run...
Leave me the room. I'll meet you on the stairs.
As you wish.
Okay, Doc.
Once I have the room to myself, I walk up to the glass and I place my hand on the glass. And with tears in my eyes, I look up at the man Nathan should have been allowed to become under his own terms. I've spent the better part of my life hating you. And for no good reason. I've hated you not for anything that you've done or for any choice that you've made, but because somebody thought that they could use you to their own ends. And you're only in this position because they realized they couldn't use me to do the same thing. But it ends here, and it ends now. And this is going to be the last chance that they get to use you for this. I said once that I was going to scrub your name from the world. And I plan to do it. But not because I want people to forget you, but because I want you to finally have some fucking peace. And I would like to try to attune to take his soul out of his body.
Roll to attune.
I will push myself on this one. That is a 5.
You hear electric whirring as you try and do it. You get the impression he is fighting back. You can't tell if it's by instinct, like a survival instinct, or because part of him doesn't want to go. You get the impression you could keep pulling, but you aren't sure if the reason he's not giving up immediately is because he wants to survive. So I will say with a 5, you can choose whether or not to succeed with this information.
I can feel him pulling back, and it's pulling on my heart harder than the spirit did when it grabbed it and shocked it. But I keep pulling, and I try to bring him peace.
You watch his eyes open for a second as the last bit of air gasps from his body, and the soul shoves into the bottle. And you watch all the machinery displaying his vital signs go flat.
I pull my pocket square out of my jacket pocket. I wipe the tears out of my eyes. I take my coat off. I undo my tie and toss it to the side, and I roll my sleeves up. And I walk to the stairwell, and I say, let's finish this. Let's kill this son of a bitch.
Hell yeah.
So you all do ascend to 54. 54 just says, famous medical research facility and prosthetic lab. For the sake of skipping the fanfare, once again, this is not an area where Nathan was trying to kill you. You see there's medical supplies that have finished being prepared. There are a few bottles of his famous miracle tonic. There's a choice of prosthetic arms Lizzie can choose from that will just snap onto her injured arm magically, because video game logic.
That's very convenient.
Yeah, you see one that so there's just a generic one like Max had at the beginning of the series. You see Max's Swiss knifey arm. You could do that. There is one that has like an Inspector Gadget. You like point your fingertip and it shoots like a single bullet, but you get the impression it does it once. You get just a pirate hook as an option. Your arm could be a Gatling gun if you wanted. Or there's one that's like got a gun barrel about the size of a shotgun barrel in the palm of the hand. Looks like, according to the schematics, looks like some sort of energy cannon.
I pick up the energy cannon arm and slide it on.
It fits like a glove. Above board for the audience, I accidentally deleted my prep, so I had to do it over. I had stats on all these arms. I do not have them. I'll have them next time.
Just use the X-Buster stats.
So what you're saying is you're mostly armless.
We're using them right now.
Lizzie is now both the vault dweller from Fallout and Mega Man now.
Nice.
Basically. You also can all... there are 4 tonics. Each one will either clear a harm or clear stress if you drink them.
I'll take one so that I can take a harm off.
Sterling, grab the rest. You've done well to keep those safe.
I will also say in the exact center of this room is a large blue crystal that seems to have no rhyme or reason to it. It's just standing on a pedestal in the center of the room and glowing.
Some ambient music as we get closer to it.
Yes, there's ambient music, and you see there's like a little LCD display, not LSD display, that'd be a whole other thing. There's an LCD display above it that says, "Would you like to save your progress?"
That's just cheeky.
I'll down one of those health potions, if that's cool. And throw the rest in my bag.
If that's what they're there for.
Max is looking at the crystal.
I've heard of this, chronology magic before. I've never seen it in practice. If I touch this, and we die, it's a possibility that we will be rerouted to this place in time.
Whoa.
Max is actually dead on. This is an experimental famous family time travel device of some sort.
If you die the next time, well, you can come back.
By all means, ladies first.
I would like to approach the fourth wall of the room.
Smash it with a hammer.
Okay.
I smashed the crystal.
You smashed the crystal. Okay, roll wreck.
No.
It's okay if she breaks it. If we leave the room and come back in, it'll still be here.
I got a 3.
A 3. Okay, a 3. Yeah, you go to El Kabong it with like a baseball bat or a crowbar or some sort of melee weapon, and the shockwave of you not breaking it shoots down your entire body like your cartoon character, and you just vibrate 7 steps away.
You just see like the, what is it, like the Hanna-Barbera thing where they just kind of across the room.
Exactly. I'll also say, Lizzie, as you do that, there's a visible blue shockwave, and you, in that moment, re-experience all of your memories of the last few hours from when you entered the building till now, including very vividly remember getting your hand bit off.
That was weird.
You are welcome to interact with this visual joke I placed for you that's just indicating this is the room before the boss room as long as you like.
Can I just go up and grab it and throw it on the ground?
It is the size of a refrigerator. You will roll plus rec again to try and do that. If you've seen the games that had these big save crystals in like PlayStation 1 era, they were bigger than your player avatar.
I'm not supposed to do that because I rolled a 3 again.
Right. All right. Max just reaches out he raises his biological finger and touches it.
A blue shockwave engulfs Max in light. Max, you maintain your lucid memory for the next episode of this podcast.
Sweet.
Terrifying.
You watch the charge drain out of this crystal completely. It has no more power.
We all completely freeze in the exact positions that we're in, and then it just says, please insert CD2 right on the front of the podcast.
For the next 8 hours.
You're not even wrong, because at this point, what happens is a cutscene plays, and you all march up to, I haven't finished your healing supplies, march up the stairs to floor 55, and as the episode ends, you see a sign over the door that says, Homunculus Research Laboratory.
Oh, dear Lord. Well, we're burning this whole place down.
What did you need my name? Need me, old timer? I heard my name. It's just on the radio.
You listening the whole time?
Max doesn't know how his radio works. He probably just has the comm channel open at all times. And you all have been hearing feedback because it's feeding into all your radios.
Is this the famous Nathan that I'm addressing on the radio?
This is Victor Lord. I'm the old man that you guys threw off a train that one time. Oh, no, wait, I got that wrong. I'm the big man you guys...
Oh, I apologize.
No, you aren't the one that threw me off the train. You're the one that stabbed my friend in the neck. But we're good on that.
Stabbed your friend? Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
No, but it's fine. She gave you food.
I remember
But
now.
she gave you food poison that one time, so you guys are even Steven.
I wouldn't necessarily say we're even, Steven. Should I see Miss Swift again, there will be swift retribution.
No, there won't.
I don't like that, old man. She's standing right next to Victor on the other end of the radio. Like, no, I thought we were even. You did me a murder, I made you an uncomfortable. We're good.
We'll see.
Blades in Paradise is Paul Kinter as Master of Ceremonies, Justin Langston as Maximilian Graves, Faith Queenie Long as Lizzie Calhoun, and Mel Riley as Sterling Ackred, and myself, Jim Remus, as Dr. Winston Thoreau. Dami Widener is our editor. You can directly support this show at patreon.com/bardrocknetwork, starting at just $3 a month. You can join us on Discord, you can come play games with us. We'll even send you network swag at the end of the year. You can visit our sponsor, Evil Hat Games, and use code BARDROCK10 to buy cool games like Blades in the Dark, and let them know we sent you. You can support the podcast for free by sharing us on social media, word of mouth, or rating and subscribing on your favorite podcatcher. Lastly, you support us just by listening. Thank you for listening, dear friends.